In this video, I'm going to show you how to import transactions using the bank feed and how to use the matching screen. Firstly, all we need to do is go to the bank module on the left hand side of the screen. Once you've set up your bank feed, you will see that the button in the middle has now changed to import because this bank feed has been set up. If we click import, all we need to do is choose a date range for the transactions that we want to import. So I'm going to say I'm going to import transactions from the start of April 2014 until the end of April 2014. And then all I do is click load, and this will bring up the matching screen. We can now see our bank statement is on the left hand side. All we then need to do is go and match that to where it needs to go in tally accounts. So let's say this is money coming in and this was a payment coming in against an invoice. All I need to do is just click the matching button, and this is going to bring up a list of all of my unpaid invoices. We can multiple select if we want, so if that money was paying off multiple transactions, you can just highlight two and then I can overwrite the amount. So if that was a check coming in from a customer, we could say it was actually a part payment on this one for £2,000, and they paid £50 off that one, and we can now see our left to clear amount is 0, and I can hit assign, and we can now see that's been assigned as a batch payment. If you can make any mistakes or wrong postings at this point, you can just press the cross button in the middle, and then when we hit the match button again, it will just bring up our list of invoices. Like I say, it was actually just a full payment against that invoice, and we can now see it's been assigned against invoice number 4. We can then continue to match all of other transactions. So we can see I've got my rent going out of my bank. So if I match this, you'll see I can assign it to a purchase invoice that I've got in the system. But if we actually go and assign it to a bank transaction, we have nothing listed. So what we're effectively doing, we're not entering our transactions on a daily or weekly basis. We're creating the transactions from the bank statement, which means it's going to be a lot more accurate and up to date in the system, and it makes it a lot simpler to make sure you're not missing out transactions. All I need to do then is just hit create at the top of the screen. I'm going to create a new bank transaction for this, but I could create a new sales or purchase invoice if I wish to. So we can see that it's our rent. So all I do is click on the drop down box here and then type in the word rent. We can find our code for rent. We can then choose our VAT amount and then hit create. And that's now going to create that transaction directly in the bank. We then continue to do that process. So I've got my interest here. So we just go and create again at the top of the screen. Create a new transaction. And we're just going to say that's through to interest received. And the VAT on that is set to NA. If I hit create, we can now see that's matched against interest received. We will then continue to do that. So we've got some money going out here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go match this, create, and we're just going to post those to materials to the time being. So I'm going to say they're materials with 20% VAT added. And again, we just repeat this process. So create a new bank transaction for materials. Great, we can now see I've only got 2 transactions to left. So it's a pretty quick and easy matching process we're doing on here. It's going to create one more transaction. That's going to go to materials. Now, if there was a transaction that you didn't know where to post it to, if you just hit the match screen and hit create, when we create a new transaction, it will default to other. So if I just post that to other for the time being, I can reallocate it once it's been imported. So once you've matched all of those transactions off, all you do is just hit the Import Now button at the top of the screen. When you click Import Now, we can see that 7 transactions have been imported and we haven't ignored, and everything has come into the system. So now if we change the date in the system to show me the transactions from April 2014 and hit go, we can now see all of those transactions in the bank, and my bank statement is correct because obviously we've brought all the information in directly from the bank. We can amend these transactions just like we can in the normal bank screen. So we can see that posting there to other. I can just click on that, and then we can now click on our drop down nominal codes again, and we can just update the code it needs to be sent to, and just click the update button, and we can now see that transaction has been amended. That's how easy it is to import transactions directly into Tally accounts using the bank feed screen, and how easy it is to use the matching screen.